violence or no other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Black students at one metro area high school say their white classmates are racially insensitive, and they have filed a federal discrimination lawsuit. Channel 2's Tom Jones live in Floyd County in Rome, where the complaint was filed. And Tom, the students say the school system has ignored their concerns about mistreatment.
Okay, so we got some Sun teens who are not happy with the way that they're being treated in this North Georgia school district in Rome. And what I will say, Rome, Georgia definitely has a racist history. All right. So that's what you got there. But at the same time, I'm definitely gonna have to see what's going on, what their gripes are, and see if we can make a determination of if they're overblowing this or if they really have a case.
And Justin, one student told me that administrators told her she makes everything about race, but the black students here at Coosa High say it is their white classmates who made everything about race in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable and unsafe. And they say the teachers are just as bad.
The teachers didn't care at all.
Coosa High student Desiree Turner says teachers not only heard white students use racial slurs, they were just as insensitive. She shared what one white instructor said about a black student.
He couldn't be vegetarian because black people love chicken too much.
These attorneys say black students...
Oh, damn. And you do have to ask the question, yo, is that right or wrong? Do they love them? Now, I know some brothers who are vegan. Okay, one of my best friends is vegan. But the overarching majority of us, I mean, come on, let's keep it a buck. We loving chicken. We rocking with chicken. Is it worth a lawsuit over that comment? No. I think that they should have came back with something even wittier, like, well, you know, we love chicken, but we'll never eat it from y'all because y'all don't season your food. Something with you. I mean, look, you know. But here they go, filing a lawsuit. And was it an inappropriate comment for a teacher to make? Definitely. If it was a student, then I'd be like, okay, that's kind of how it goes. Students, especially these young kids now, they're cruel. They're gonna make jokes. And I'm not even saying that joke is actually cruel, okay? It's kind of like low-hanging fruit joke. But like I said, is it worth going through a lawsuit and all this stuff? Is there a case there? Not really off of that comment.
Students were subjected to far worse than that.
A student wearing a Confederate flag belt and addressing black students as slaves.
The allegations...
Okay. Now you got something. Now you have something here that we can work with.
...of white students constantly using the N-word.
Are you talking about referring to students as black students gator bait?
It's why the attorney...
Okay, yeah, now they going crazy. Hopefully they got a whole bunch of evidence. They finna get that check.
He's filed a federal racial discrimination lawsuit against Floyd County Schools and its Board of Education. They say the school system has ignored complaints about the racism at Coosa.
And just to give you information on the demographics at this Coosa High School, it is 59%, pretty much 60% glider, 22% burrito, and 12% brothers and sisters. So it's pretty reflective of the demographics throughout the country, you know, if you ask me.
This year alone, over 12 complaints.
The attorneys say white students are allowed to run around with Confederate flags, but when black students wore black-themed shirts and planned a peaceful protest over the murder of George Floyd, they were punished.
And look, I'm not a big fan of George Floyd, but they definitely need to keep it fair on both sides. If they want to protest for George Floyd, let them, as long as they ain't going crazy and doing nothing that we've seen in most of these riots. Then they should be able to, okay? And you know, if they're raising their Confederate flag, they need to keep it equal on both sides.
The black students who planned this protest were suspended, not the white students who were working with them.
Desiree says the school just doesn't understand how pervasive the racism is.
Whenever I complained, they would say that I was just making everything about race.
And I reached out to the school system.
So it sounds like there is a lot of gaslighting going on. We might have one here, guys. Like I said, Rome, Georgia definitely has a bad history when it comes to that type of stuff. So I'd be interested to see if they're able to get some type of compensation in this lawsuit. But hey, who knows?
Because I wanted to get its response to these very serious allegations, but a spokesperson told me it does not comment on pending litigation. The lawsuit seeks to expunge the 5-day suspensions the students received for that peaceful protest that was planned, and also it works to force the school to end the racial environment here at Coosa High. We're live in Floyd County in Rome. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
Learning more now about a jail staffer who's accused of trying to smuggle in drugs into the Fulton County Jail. We first told you about this on Channel 2 Action News at 6. Deputies now looking for 24-year-old Trakera Ford. She was a contracted medical assistant at the jail. Investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln live tonight after learning about prior communication.
Dang, she had them cigarettes. She had the gas. She was finna flood the streets.
Ford was allegedly having with inmates there before getting caught with these alleged drugs. Ashley?
That's right, Justin. What we know from those county documents that we've been going through all day today is that Ford ran out of these doors behind me and into a black Nissan Altima. That was after she was questioned about coming to work smelling like marijuana. Of course she has a Nissan Altima. And she pulled up to work smelling like gas, man. These sisters, I don't know, man. They fall in love with these inmates, man. I'm telling you. And it's not just sisters. It's a lot of women. That's why I don't think that women should be working in the jails at all, okay? Get a male nurse or have them work in the female jails. But come on. This is common sense. Women love bad boys. They're going to fall for the bad boys, and all the bad boys are locked up. Now, we also found in those county documents that Ford is accused of having communications with inmates in those days leading up to her running out of this building.
It's a search for Trakera Ford. Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labatt says has been ongoing since Saturday.
We will not tolerate anybody bringing contraband in.
Labatt says the 24-year-old, a contracted medical assistant for the jail, ran out of the facility Saturday after being questioned about returning to work smelling like marijuana. She drove away in this black Nissan Altima with a Tennessee tag 75A-R44. Documents reveal a captain reported she asked Ford if she had marijuana on her after smelling a strong odor. The captain states Ford told her no. But the document goes on to say the captain reported Ford eventually said she had been smoking in her car with the windows down before coming to work.
When I read that she admitted she had been smoking, I found that to be astonishing.
Dang, and they got her on the gram. Why are y'all posting videos of you smoking on the gram? It's not that serious. Like, they think it's a flex to, oh, we got big blunts. We just rolled up an 8th in the backwood. Like, bruh, everybody has weed, dog. Like, the fact that in the community we brag about the most simplest shit is just, it's embarrassing. So much to the fact that you got your behind caught up.
Take me. When you go back to jail, don't call my phone.
We found these images of Ford on her Instagram page. Several posts shows her showcasing marijuana. A document indicates it was what was in a backpack Ford left behind that has her now facing 5 felony charges.
You will go to jail.
Inside that bag, sheriff's deputies found about 20 grams of suspected crack cocaine.
Dang. She was finna have them boys. Yeah, come act like you got hurt, and then I'll give you the stuff.
0.8 ounces of suspected marijuana, 200 cigarettes, and 2 packs of tobacco.
A sad day in law enforcement when this happens.
A warrant for Ford led me to this extended stay in Clayton County as her last known address. Here, employees confirmed with me she's been staying here for at least 2 months with her boyfriend. Workers say just last week the two got into a fight and Clayton County police were called. Fulton County records also indicate authorities turned up a recorded call on May 4th.
They probably got in a fight because he found out that she had a lover inside the prison. See, these women, they know how to hide their dirt until they don't. Okay? And a lot of these dudes that they're dealing with, some of these dudes ain't finna take that. Some of these dudes ain't just finna go down lightly because they're dealing with a lot of these sisters are dealing with some very dangerous men. Okay, so you can't just be a woman out here doing your dirt and then think that these dudes just finna take that.
Allegedly between Ford and 1 or 2 inmates, in which she says, quote, brought saran wrap and coffee. I know what I'm doing. Sheriff Labatt says some people use those items in a false attempt to mask the scent of drugs.
We want to make sure that we keep our community as safe as possible. Please submit a tip on our Sheriff's app.
And Ashley, this is not the first time a jail employee or contracted worker has been accused of trying to bring drugs into that jail, right?
Yeah, sadly, it isn't, Justin. We did find out from the sheriff that they have had to deal with this in the past. However, he says they have zero tolerance for this. That's why they are actively looking for Ford again. They're asking anyone with information. She's driving a black Nissan sedan with those Tennessee plates. He's asking anyone with info to contact the sheriff's office. So they are actively looking for her, Justin.
A story we will certainly stay on top of in the coming days. Thank you, Ed.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
All right, guys, so we do have this story here of Lil Meech, which is Big Meech's son. He played Big Meech in the BMF movie that 50 Cent put together. So he is actually getting arrested for fraud in Miami, and it's very confusing because you're supposed to be a rich guy. Your dad was a, drug kingpin or whatever. He's doing time in prison, but you're out here committing fraud. So it just goes to show, man, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree.
Media Takeout reports Lil Meech from BMF arrested for fraud in Miami, now facing 60 years in prison, stunting like his daddy. Lil Meech.
She said stunting like his daddy. That was great. That was funny though.
Meech, the 22-year-old actor and rapper who rose to fame portraying his father Demetrius, a black mafia family.
So look at the chain. Look at the chain, and now you're committing fraud. Like, I know Miami is expensive to live in, okay? But what are you on, bro? Why are you taking penitentiary chances if you're rich already? You rubbing elbows with 50 Cent? Why you ain't ask him?
And 50 Cent's BMF series adaptation is currently in jail facing 60 years, Media Takeout confirmed. According to our sources in law enforcement, Lil Meech, real name Demetrius Flannery, was picked up in Miami on Monday and charged with multiple counts of fraud and scamming. So far, he's only facing Florida state charges and not federal charges, but he may be facing Fed charges soon, given the nature of his fraud crimes. The FBI may have jurisdiction over this case, sources tell Media Takeout.
Wow. And like, this is what you do. You don't learn from your father's mistakes. You out here scamming. You're supposed to be rich already. These supervillains, they just don't make sense. Nowadays, it's just like dudes just be doing stuff to do it. It makes no sense.
The two crimes that Lil Meech has been charged with are organized fraud in the first degree and grand theft in the first degree. Media Takeout confirmed that organized fraud is ranked as level 3 under the Florida Punishment Code. The punishment is different based upon the value of the property defrauded. In Lil Meech's case, the fraud he's charged with is more than $50,000, so it is a first degree felony punishable up to 30 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. And that's not his only charge. He's also charged with grand theft in the first degree over $100,000. Media Takeout confirmed that. Grand theft is classified as a first degree felony, punishable up to 30 years in prison with a maximum fine of $10,000. If he's convicted of all charges, the actor will face up to 60 years in prison.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.